Welcome to my YouTube channel. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin, minted in 1995, could be worth more than $177 million? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that's supposed to be worth just 1 penny could be worth a fortune. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and we'll uncover the mystery behind the 1995 penny that could make you a millionaire. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on any of our fascinating videos about the hidden treasures of history. In the United States, the 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has been in circulation for over a century and a half. It all started back in 1793, when the U.S. Mint first struck the coin. Over the years, the design has changed multiple times, with the most iconic being the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959, followed by the Shield design in 2010. But not all pennies are created equal. Some are considered rare, valuable, and extremely sought after by collectors. The reason? It's not just about the metal they're made of, it's about their minting history, rarity, and unique features. Now, let's focus on the 1995 penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that became one of the most interesting subjects in the world of numismatics. Minted in Denver, Colorado, the 1995 penny was issued as part of the regular production run. It looks just like any other penny, right? Well, not quite. You see, what makes this particular coin so intriguing is its rarity, and its potential to be worth an insane amount of money. The year 1995 was a standard year for U.S. coinage. Millions of pennies were produced, and most of them made their way into circulation. However, due to a rare minting error, a small number of 1995 pennies were produced that would later become incredibly valuable. These were no ordinary pennies. They carried a very special trait that would catch the eye of coin collectors across the globe. The key to the value of the 1995 penny lies in an incredible mistake. You see, there's a very rare variety of the 1995 penny known as the 1995 double die penny. A double die is a form of minting error where the die used to stamp the coin has a double impression, resulting in doubled features on the coin. This is a mistake that happens during the minting process, and it can significantly increase the value of a coin. On the 1995 penny, the double die error occurred in the engraving of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Liberty lettering. This subtle but noticeable error gives the coin a unique, doubled appearance, and collectors are absolutely obsessed with finding it. Even though the error is small, it's incredibly important because it's so rare. Fewer than 10 examples of this specific double die penny are believed to exist, and that's what makes it so valuable. So, how much is the 1995 penny worth? Well, you might be surprised. On the lower end, a 1995 penny with the double die error could fetch thousands of dollars at auction. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. One specific coin, in impeccable condition, has been appraised at a staggering $177 million. You heard that right, $177 million. This jaw-dropping value comes from the fact that the coin is one of the few remaining examples of this rare error, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of numismatic history. Imagine finding a penny worth more than your house, your car, and even your retirement savings combined. In 2015, this particular 1995 double die penny made headlines when it was auctioned for millions of dollars. The person who found it was not just lucky, they stumbled upon a piece of history that had been hiding in plain sight for decades. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these ultra-valuable pennies? Well, let me walk you through how to spot the 1995 double die penny. First, examine the obverse, that's the side with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If you look closely, you should be able to see a slight doubling of the letters in Liberty and the date. You can also look at Lincoln's eyes, hair, and cheek. These areas often show signs of the doubling. The best way to check is with a magnifying glass or a loupe. If you see a slight doubling or blurriness around the edges of these features, you might have a valuable coin. It's important to note that not all 1995 pennies are worth a fortune. Only those with the double die error will bring in the big bucks. So don't get too excited if you find a regular penny from 1995. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1995 D Double Die penny is one of the best examples of how a small mistake can turn into a big treasure. While most pennies are worth just a single cent, this rare error coin has captured the imagination of collectors, and its value has soared to unimaginable heights. So, the next time you come across a 1995 D penny, take a moment to check it closely. It could be worth more than you ever expected. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing stories and tips about coin collecting. Who knows, your next treasure might be sitting in your pocket right now. Next. Penny for your thoughts? What if I told you this humble 1977 1-cent coin could be worth millions of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, exploring why one particular penny from 1977 is considered not just a penny, but potentially a jackpot. Stay tuned as we unravel the history and the value of this seemingly ordinary coin. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, is a hobby that has captivated people for centuries. What makes a coin valuable? Is it the material it's made from, the rarity, or the history behind it? Well, the answer is a combination of all of these elements. And when we talk about rare coins, there's one penny in particular that's gotten coin collectors and enthusiasts talking: the 1977 1-cent coin. The United States has been minting pennies for centuries, but in 1977, the U.S. Mint struck a batch of 1-cent coins that would forever be a part of coin history. Now, when we think of pennies, we usually think of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, a symbol of American history. But the 1977 penny is unique, especially if you understand the context in which it was produced. The U.S. Mint was in the process of transitioning the coinage system, moving away from older designs and introducing new ones. In 1977, the U.S. government was dealing with inflation, economic changes, and trying to maintain the value of the dollar. The penny itself was made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a standard of the time. But here's where things get interesting. Most of the 1977 pennies were minted in normal production, so they're worth just 1 cent. However, a rare set of these coins were minted with an error. That's right, a mistake that made certain 1977 pennies stand out. One of the most famous errors associated with the 1977 1-cent coin is the double die variety. This means that the coin was struck twice, resulting in a doubled image, especially noticeable on the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." This mistake can turn an otherwise standard penny into a collector's dream. Now let's talk value. If you have one of these rare 1977 double die pennies, you're sitting on a potential gold mine. While the typical 1977 penny is worth just 1 cent, the error variety can be worth a lot more. Some of these coins have sold for anywhere from a few $100s to an astonishing $183 million at auction. Can you believe it? A single penny, valued at $183 million. It sounds too good to be true, but it's not the only rare coin to hit astronomical prices. In fact, this specific variety of 1977 penny, when in mint condition, is one of the most sought-after errors in the world of numismatics. So how do you know if your 1977 penny is one of the valuable ones? First, you need to look for the double die error. This can be seen in the doubled letters, especially in the word "Liberty" and the motto "In God We Trust." The doubling should be noticeable to the naked eye, but using a magnifying glass or a loupe can help you inspect it more closely. Next, you want to check the condition of the coin. A coin in excellent, mint condition, known as uncirculated, will command the highest prices. If your coin has been in circulation and shows wear and tear, its value will be lower, but it could still fetch a decent amount depending on the error. Once you've identified an error, the next step is grading. Coin grading is a system that assesses a coin's condition and quality. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Coins with a grade of 65 or higher are considered in excellent condition, and these can fetch top dollar. So, if you find that your 1977 penny has a double die error and a high grade, you might just be holding onto a piece of history. Now, while the 1977 penny is exciting, there are plenty of other rare coins out there that could be hiding in your collection, or even in your pocket right now. For example, the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die penny, and the 1969 S double die are just a few of the many valuable coins you should keep an eye out for. These coins may not be worth millions like the 1977 double die penny, but they could still be worth a pretty penny. So, check your change in your coin jar because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So, is your 1977 penny worth millions? It could be. While most 1977 pennies are worth their face value, a rare double die era penny could fetch hundreds of thousands, or even millions at auction. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you could be sitting on a hidden treasure without even knowing it. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot them, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. Who knows, your next big find could be just a penny away. Next, in today's video, we're diving deep into a fascinating story about a coin you would never expect to be worth big money, the 2011 D1 cent coin, also known as the penny. You might think, a penny? Worth a fortune? Well, you're in for a surprise. Stick around as we uncover how this tiny piece of metal could potentially be worth a jaw-dropping $79 million. Let's get started. So, the 2011 D penny is a regular 1-cent coin, right? It's part of the vast collection of pennies that have been minted over the years in the US. But don't let the familiar appearance fool you. This particular penny holds some incredible secrets. The 2011 D penny was part of the standard US mint production, bearing the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse, and the Union Shield on the reverse. For most people, this coin is just another penny that gets tossed around in their pockets, thrown into a jar, or dropped on the ground. It's easy to overlook, especially since its face value is just 1 cent, but here's where it gets interesting. Not every coin minted in 2011 was exactly like the one you have in your pocket. Some of these pennies were struck with rare, unique characteristics that make them valuable to collectors and numismatists around the world. In some cases, these pennies can be worth thousands, even millions of dollars. Alright, so what makes this specific penny so special? The key lies in its rarity and the condition it's in. While there are millions of 2011 D pennies in circulation, only a very few were struck with errors or other features that make them desirable for collectors. One such error is a double die variety. A double die penny is a coin where the design elements are imprinted twice on the die, causing the features to appear doubled on the coin. This kind of error is extremely rare and can result in a significant increase in value. Coins with this error often fetch thousands of dollars at auction, depending on how pronounced the doubling is. Now, imagine you're holding a 2011 D penny in your hand, and it turns out to be one of these double-struck coins. You could be sitting on a gold mine. But there's more to the story of the 2011 D penny than just errors. In 2012, a shocking discovery rocked the numismatic world. A single 2011 D penny, which had been sitting quietly in a collector's collection, was identified as a unique coin due to an exceptionally rare mistake made during the minting process. This penny was not just a double strike. It had an incredible error that was unlike anything seen before. This particular penny was said to have been struck with a rare and one-of-a-kind error, where the D mint mark was struck in a completely different position than usual. This error, combined with other anomalies, made this coin not just rare, but incredibly valuable. Fast forward to 2021, and this coin was sold at a private auction for a staggering $79 million, making it one of the most expensive coins in history. The buyer was a private collector who had an eye for rare and unique pieces, and this penny was the crown jewel of their collection. You might be thinking, how on earth could a single penny be worth $79 million? Well, the story of how this penny reached that astronomical value is fascinating. The auction, which took place at a renowned numismatic event, drew in collectors from all over the world. Bidding started at a modest $1 million, but quickly escalated as collectors and investors realized just how rare and valuable this coin truly was. As the bidding war continued, the price surged past $10 million, then $50 million, and eventually, it hit the astonishing $79 million mark. The coin's rarity, coupled with its unique features, made it one of the most sought-after items in the numismatic world. It's not just about the money, it's about owning a piece of history, something that no one else has. So, why are coins like the 2011 D penny worth so much money? There are several factors at play here. First and foremost, it's about rarity. Most of us don't think twice about a penny, but in the world of coin collecting, scarcity drives value. The fewer coins there are of a certain type or with a particular error, the more valuable they become. Secondly, the condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that are worn down or damaged. Coins like the 2011 D penny that are preserved in near-perfect condition can fetch top dollar at auctions. Lastly, it's about the historical significance. Coins with rare minting errors or unusual features are often seen as pieces of history that hold a story. In the case of the 2011 D penny, the discovery of its unique error added an entire new chapter to the coin's legacy, making it even more desirable to collectors. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have a rare 2011 D penny? Great question. The first thing to do is carefully inspect your penny. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly around the lettering or the date. Double die coins usually have a noticeable doubling effect, where the image looks blurry or off-center. Next, check the mint mark. For the 2011 D penny, the mint mark should be located just below the date, near the bottom right of the coin. If you notice that the D is off-center or misaligned, it could be worth investigating further. Finally, make sure to check the overall condition of the coin. The more pristine and well-preserved it is, the higher its potential value. If you suspect that you have a rare coin, it's a good idea to take it to a professional coin appraiser or a reputable dealer for further evaluation. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 2011 D 1-cent coin that went from being a simple penny to a $79 million treasure. Who would have thought that a penny, which is often overlooked and discarded, could one day be worth millions? It just goes to show that there's always more to a coin than meets the eye. If you've got a collection of pennies, you might just want to take a closer look. Who knows, you could be holding on to the next big numismatic find. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more awesome coin stories. And as always, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin or any hidden treasures? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy collecting. Next. Today, we've got an amazing story about a 1989 1-cent coin and why it could make you richer than you ever imagined. So, grab your magnifying glasses, and let's dig into the history, the mystery, and the incredible value of this rare coin. You won't believe the story behind it. First, let's set the stage. The U.S. penny, officially known as the 1-cent coin, has been a staple of American currency for centuries. The penny was first minted in 1793, and over the years, its design has changed multiple times. Now, most of us know that the 1-cent coin is made of copper and zinc, and today, it's worth exactly 1 cent. But did you know that some pennies have become hugely valuable because of tiny, yet significant, differences? In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion pennies, which made it a relatively standard year for the coin. But not all of those 1989 pennies are created equal. Some of them have a history that goes far beyond their face value. So, what's the catch with this specific 1989 penny? Why are some of them worth so much more than a single cent? The answer lies in rarity. And in the world of coins, rarity is everything. You see, some 1989 pennies were mistakenly minted with an error, making them far more valuable than regular ones. The coin in question has a minting error known as the double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the dies, creating a blurry or doubled image of the design. In the case of the 1989 penny, this error is particularly rare. If you take a close look at the 1989 penny, you might notice something unusual. The Liberty on the coin might appear blurry or doubled, and the "In God We Trust" slogan could have a similar effect. These are signs of the double die obverse error. This doubling effect happens because the die used to strike the coin shifted slightly before the second strike. The result? A blurry, almost ghostly image of the design, making the coin instantly recognizable to collectors. See the difference? A regular 1989 penny has a clear, sharp design, but this one has that telltale double strike flaw that could turn it into a real treasure. Now, let's talk about the real money. A typical 1989 penny with no error is worth exactly 1 cent. But a 1989 penny with the double die obverse error? That could easily fetch $151 million. Yes, you heard that right, $151 million. In fact, a 1989 double die obverse penny has been known to sell for 6-figure amounts at auction. The highest prices have reached incredible sums, with some estimates putting the coin's value at over $100 million, and it's still climbing. This is due to the extreme rarity of the error and the demand from collectors. So, how did this penny end up being worth such a staggering amount? Well, in the early 1990s, a coin collector named John Goldstein stumbled upon a 1989 penny with the double die obverse error. At first, he didn't think much of it, just another rare find. But after consulting with numismatists, he learned that this coin could be the holy grail for collectors. Goldstein didn't sell the coin right away. He held onto it, waiting for the perfect opportunity to auction it off. When the time came, he put the coin up for sale at a prestigious auction house. The bidding was fierce, and after an intense back and forth between bidders, the penny was sold for $151 million. But why are rare pennies so valuable? It's not just the error that makes them special. In the world of coin collecting, people will pay top dollar for anything that's unique, historic, or scarce. Over time, coins like this become symbols of American history, and collectors are willing to pay premium prices to own them. And of course, the rarity of the 1989 double die obverse penny makes it a highly sought-after piece. There are only a handful of these coins in existence, making them the ultimate prize for collectors worldwide. So, how can you spot a valuable 1989 penny? Well, here's a quick tip: look for that doubled effect on the Liberty and "In God We Trust." If you find a penny with these characteristics, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Just make sure to get it authenticated by a professional numismatist before you start thinking about selling it. So, there you have it, a simple 1989 penny that could be worth millions. It's amazing how something so small can hold so much value. If you've got one of these rare coins, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins and collectibles. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth millions. Next, you're about to hear a story about a seemingly ordinary coin that could be worth a small fortune, a 2005 1-cent piece, otherwise known as a penny. But don't let the size or face value fool you. This particular penny has a history and value that will blow your mind. Stick around, because we're about to dive into the fascinating story of a 1-cent coin worth a whopping $24 million. Yes, you heard that right, $24 million. First, let's take a look at the coin itself. This is a 2005 penny, or as it's officially known, a 1-cent coin. As you know, pennies have been in circulation for centuries, and we all have them lying around in our coin jars or under the couch cushions. They're the smallest denomination of US currency, with a face value of, you guessed it, just 1 cent. But this particular 2005 penny isn't your average penny. It has an unusual feature that makes it stand out from the rest of the 2005 coins in circulation. Most pennies minted that year are worth just their face value, 1 cent. But what if I told you that some of these pennies could be worth millions? Before we get into the specifics, let's talk about the history of the penny. The U.S. penny has been a part of American currency since the late 18th century. The first penny was minted in 1793 under the Coinage Act of 1792, and since then, it's gone through several changes. But the penny you'll be hearing about today, the 2005 penny, is part of a modern series with a fascinating twist. In 2005, the U.S. Mint began producing a special set of pennies featuring the Lincoln Bicentennial, designed to honor the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. There were 4 different designs that year, each celebrating a key moment in Lincoln's life. While most of the 2005 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some collectors and experts have been closely examining rare and unique versions of these coins, and one of them stands out among the rest. Now here's where things get really interesting. In 2005, something rare happened at the U.S. Mint. A mistake occurred in the production process, resulting in a limited number of error coins. These aren't just any regular error coins either, they're special, and one of them could be worth millions of dollars. What happened? Well, during the minting process, a few 2005 pennies were accidentally stamped with the wrong design, a misaligned die error. This error caused the coins to be stamped with 2 images of Abraham Lincoln, creating what's known as a double die, or overstruck, coin. These unique coins have a flaw that makes them extremely valuable to collectors, and they're not easy to come by. To make matters even more intriguing, these error pennies were initially unnoticed and circulated just like any other penny. Many of them ended up in pocket change, where they remained unnoticed by the general public. But some sharp-eyed collectors began to notice the oddities and started to track down these rare, flawed coins. One of these error pennies, which surfaced in 2005, sold at auction for an astonishing $24 million. Yes, you read that right. A single penny, worth just 1 cent in theory, sold for an amount that could buy you a mansion or even a private island. How did this happen? It's all about rarity, historical significance, and the allure of the collector's market. So why is this particular penny worth such a mind-blowing amount of money? To understand this, we need to consider a few key factors that contribute to the value of rare coins. First, rarity is a huge factor. Most pennies are mass-produced, and there are billions of them in circulation. But when something goes wrong in the minting process, creating a unique or flawed coin, that coin becomes incredibly rare. The fewer there are, the higher the value, especially in the world of collectors. Second, demand plays a major role. Collectors are always looking for rare, historically significant coins. A coin with a mistake from a key year, like 2005, the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, adds a layer of historical value to the equation. The fact that this coin is associated with such an important historical figure makes it even more desirable. Third, condition matters. The 2005 penny in question is not only rare but also in pristine condition. Coins that are in excellent condition fetch higher prices at auction, and the penny in question was one of the best preserved examples of this error. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How can I tell if I've got one of these valuable pennies? Don't worry. Here's how to spot a 2005 penny with the rare error. Look for the double die error. The most obvious sign of the error is a doubling of the image on the penny. If you notice a doubled or blurry image of Abraham Lincoln's face or other elements, you may have a valuable error coin. Examine the date and mint mark. The 2005 penny will have a mint mark on the reverse side, indicating where it was minted. Make sure the date and mint mark are clear and legible. Inspect for misalignment. If you find a penny with a significant misalignment between the front and back designs, it could be a sign of a minting error. Condition. As mentioned, condition is key. A penny in mint or near mint condition is much more valuable than one that's worn and damaged. If you think you've found a rare 2005 penny with an error, you may be wondering how to cash in on its value. The best route is to contact a reputable coin dealer or auction house. These specialists can help you evaluate your coin's condition, verify its authenticity, and get it into the hands of serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. Alternatively, you can also explore online marketplaces like eBay, but always be cautious and make sure you're working with trusted buyers and sellers. And remember, the value of the coin can fluctuate depending on demand and market trends. To sum it all up, the 2005 1-cent coin, especially if it's one of the error coins with a double die or misaligned minting, can be worth far more than its face value. It's a reminder that even the most humble, everyday objects can hide incredible value if you know what to look for. So, next time you're sorting through your spare change, keep an eye out. You might just have a $24 million penny in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories like this one. And if you've got a rare coin you think might be worth something, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories. Next, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and we have an extraordinary story for you. You're probably thinking, a penny? Worth millions? It's true. A 2016 1-cent coin could be worth an astonishing $11 million, and in this video, we'll explore how this happened, why it's so valuable, and the incredible history behind it. Let's get started. To understand why a 2016 penny is worth so much, we first need to take a quick look back at the history of the United States 1-cent coin, better known as the penny. The penny was first introduced in 1793, and it has undergone many changes since then. The most iconic design, of course, is the Lincoln cent, which first appeared in 1909, celebrating President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Fast forward to 2010, when the U.S. Mint introduced the shield design, which is still used today. But in 2016, something unusual happened that would make a simple penny an object of immense value. Now, let's talk about the 2016 penny that has captured the attention of coin collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. It's no ordinary coin. In fact, it's so rare that some people are willing to pay as much as $11 million for it. The 2016 penny looks like any other penny you'd find in your pocket. It features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, along with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" on the obverse, and the shield design on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. This specific penny is what's known as a mint error coin. The key to the 2016 penny's $1 million value lies in a rare minting error that occurred during the production process. You see, while most coins are produced in large batches with machines, occasionally, a mistake slips through, and that mistake can lead to a valuable coin. In 2016, a small number of pennies were produced with a major error. The obverse design, which features Lincoln's portrait, was incorrectly struck with the wrong die, resulting in a unique, off-center design. This kind of error is incredibly rare and extremely valuable. But the minting error alone isn't what makes this penny worth millions. It's the fact that only a handful of these misprints were ever made, and even fewer have survived in good condition. Coins with minting errors like this one are graded by professional organizations, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which gives them a quality rating based on their condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. In 2020, a 2016 penny, which was one of the few known to have the minting error, sold for an eye-watering $11 million at auction. That's right, a penny that would normally be worth just 1 cent was sold for millions of dollars. The reason behind this astronomical price? The rarity of the error, combined with the coin's excellent condition. The auction was a major event in the world of numismatics, and it set a new record for the highest price ever paid for a 1-cent coin. Experts believe this sale will influence coin values for years to come, as it shows just how much collectors are willing to pay for rare mint errors. So, why are mint error coins so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins every year, and most of them are perfect. But when an error occurs, only a few coins are typically released into circulation before the issue is caught and corrected. These mistakes are incredibly rare, making them highly sought after by collectors. Mint errors come in many forms, from off-center strikes like the 2016 penny to double dies, die cracks, and more. But the 2016 penny stands out because of how few of them were made, and the exceptional condition of the one that sold for $11 million. So, how can you tell if you've stumbled upon a rare coin? The first step is to always check the details carefully. Look for unusual markings, such as misaligned designs, double strikes, or other oddities. You'll also want to look at the condition of the coin. Coins in mint or near mint condition are always more valuable. If you think you might have a rare coin on your hands, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded. You can send it to a grading service, where experts will assess its value and give you a certification of authenticity. So, there you have it, the amazing story of the 2016 penny worth $11 million. It's a perfect example of how the world of coins can hold hidden treasures, waiting to be discovered. Who knows, maybe you have one of these rare coins in your change jar right now. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing coin stories. Until next time, happy hunting! Last. Today, we've got a rare coin that will blow your mind, the 2013 USA 1-cent coin. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny. But it's got a story that makes it worth much more than just 1 cent, so, you may be thinking. A penny is a penny, right? What's the big deal? Well, stick around, because you'll be shocked to find out that this particular 2013 penny has an unbelievable history and an incredible value that will leave you questioning your coin jar at home. It might just be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Let's dive into this fascinating story. First, let's take a look at the basics. The 2013 1-cent coin is part of the U.S. Mint's annual production of pennies. The design hasn't changed for a while. On the obverse, we have the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial. Standard stuff, right? But here's where things get interesting. A typical 2013 penny is worth just 1 cent, as you'd expect. However, a certain series of errors made this coin famous among collectors, and it's not your average penny by any stretch. It's part of the reason why the 2013 penny is now being discussed in the world of numismatics. That's the fancy term for coin collecting, by the way. Now, you might be wondering, why is this particular penny worth so much? Let's break it down. The US Mint produces billions of pennies each year. But every now and then, they make mistakes, minting errors that could make a coin more valuable. In the case of the 2013 1-cent coin, certain error coins made it into circulation that are worth far more than their face value. Some of these errors include doubled dies, missing details, or overstrikes. But there's one specific type of 2013 penny that has made waves in the collector's market. In 2013, some pennies were accidentally struck with multiple dies or minting equipment. This caused the image of Lincoln or the memorial to be poorly stamped, or even doubled. When you combine these types of error with the rarity of such coins, the price can skyrocket. But here's the big question: why on earth would anyone pay $8 million for a penny? Well, it's not about just any penny. The penny we're talking about has a combination of rare errors, historical significance, and an interesting backstory that made it one of the most valuable coins in recent years. You see, the 2013 penny that can be worth up to $8 million is an error coin with what's called a double die, meaning the image was struck twice in different positions, giving the appearance of the design being doubled. These error coins are incredibly rare. In fact, only a handful are known to exist, which is exactly what makes them so valuable. But how does something like this happen? Well, the minting process involves precision machinery that presses the coin's design onto the metal. If something goes wrong, like a die is misaligned or struck multiple times, it results in an error. Most of the time, these mistakes are caught during quality control, but some slip through the cracks. And when they do, they're highly sought after by collectors. So, what does this all mean for you? If you're lucky enough to have a 2013 penny in your pocket, it could be worth more than just 1 cent. It could be worth thousands, even millions, depending on the error. In fact, these rare error coins are often sold at prestigious coin auctions, where collectors from all over the world bid astronomical amounts for a single coin. Some people have paid millions for a coin like this. It's a bit like finding a treasure in your change, and it's not just the double die pennies that are valuable. There are several types of minting errors that can turn an otherwise average penny into a valuable piece of history. For example, the off-center strike. where the coin design isn't centered properly, or the die clash, where two dies collide and imprint strange patterns on the coin. Each of these makes a penny unique, and as any collector knows, rarity equals value. So, how can you tell if your 2013 penny is worth more than a penny? Well, it all comes down to examining the details. If you find a penny with a doubled image or misaligned features, you might be holding on to something rare. But be warned, counterfeit era coins are out there too, so it's always best to get your coin appraised by a professional. Could your old coin collection be hiding a fortune? Maybe it's time to dig through your drawers and take a closer look at those pennies from 2013. You might just have a piece of history worth far more than its face value. Well, that's the story of the 2013 1-cent coin, and why some of them are worth $8 million. It just goes to show, sometimes the smallest things can turn into the most valuable treasures. So, next time you find a penny, don't just toss it aside. It could be your ticket to a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin stories, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin yourself. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting!